home I'm just a bit of a dope, to be honest. But then when I get in a rally car, I come alive, and that's what really gets me going.
It's 5 in the morning, first day of Rally GB. We're off to the first stage now, just can't wait.
My name's Chris Ingram, I'm 22 years old. I'm a rally driver from South Manchester, ranked #1 in England at the moment. Racing is my life, you know, it's everything I've ever dreamed about. I just love it so much. The feeling I get when I drive perfectly flat out on the limit is, there's nothing better. I was 15 years old, and me and my dad built a little rally car from like a standard Citroen C1. So it was only a 1 litre car, but we put a roller cage in it and seats and everything, and then we went rallying with it. He was a really successful driver in the 80s and then got back into it in like 2004. He still thinks he's a better driver than me, but I've sort of gone further than that now, so he's taken a step back, and you know, as a manager, he's more just there as a dad now. Before the rally, it sort of kicks off with a ceremonial start. So when all the cars go over the ramp, usually in a town centre, that one at Rally GB, it was in the stadium, so full of fans, a chance for people to get close to the drivers and the cars. But we actually didn't get to drive over it because we had an accident on the way to the shakedown with a foreign spectator on the wrong side of the road, so the car was damaged and getting repaired, so we had to walk over it, which is like totally embarrassing. Yeah, 100% my responsibility to organise everything. I'm pretty much my own manager and agent as well, because I do most of the sponsorship work myself. But then when it gets up to the higher levels, then a lot more people come on board. Like for next year, I've got more people in my team helping with PR and sponsorship, etc. And I've got a psychologist now, so it just builds up.
Excuse me, are we allowed in here? Is it okay? Enzo! Changed his mind.
Yeah, it's a big transition from being at a race and a rally and then coming back home. Life's so slow. But it's nice to come out and come for a walk with my dog and my dad and catch up with my family and sort of reflect and get ready for whatever's coming next, have a bit of a break. That's a weird one. Yeah, my family, obviously it's important to everyone, isn't it? But when you're in a tough sport, you really rely on people being close to you because there's such highs and lows. So I get a hell of a lot of support from my family and my girlfriend, and that definitely helps keep me going. My dad's been a huge influence. I've taken a lot of things from, you know, the way he is, and also learned a bit from his mistakes when he was in the sport as well. So that's helped me so much from his experience. And I wouldn't say there's any pressure to make it, but if I really want to make it for my family as much as anything, definitely. Sit. Oh, broken down.
At least you're here to film it. You probably think I'd be gutted, but this is my third retirement out of 4. Like at the start of the year, I was on the podium 5 times in a row, and then at the end of the year, I had 1 crash. I won the next one, and then the 2 since cars broke down. I think we were fastest on the first stage, and then the drive shaft broke at the start of this stage, stage 2. You know the drive shaft which goes to wheels, one of them's probably just snapped, so they just have to replace it and put it back together. So, but it'll be fine, we'll get it fixed for tomorrow. At least we've got the pace.
Everyone has to know where they're fitting into the team. Even me, my co-driver, down to team manager and mechanics, so it's essential that we're all clear and we're all in sync, to be fair. I obviously have tried to learn a lot about the car, about the suspension, the setup, so I can get the best out of it. But when it comes to mechanical knowledge, it is important, but most of the time if something goes wrong, then you're not going to be able to fix it anyway. You've not really got the time. So the main thing is practicing tyre changes, stuff like that, so I'm really quick. I can change a tyre in a minute, including getting out the car and doing your belt. When you go from one stage to another, you have like a huge high obviously during the stage, and then you sort of just fall asleep a bit afterwards when all the adrenaline goes, so that makes you really tired, you know, the constant highs and lows throughout the day.
When I'm on the rallies, like there's so much tension when we go to these European countries. We're treated like celebrities really. So that's such a cool experience, but when I'm at home, I'm just a normal guy. See that apex? Ooh, yeah. I'm definitely immature for my age because I've not really lived a normal life. I've not been to uni. I've not done a lot of normal jobs. My life's so different compared to a normal 22-year-old lad. Like all my mates are at uni, chasing a different career and getting pissed every night, but I'm fully focused on what I want to do and chase my dream in rallying. So it's a completely different lifestyle. Like I don't drink, don't smoke, never done any of that. Dedicated on being the best I can be. The new stage of Rally GB was at Cholmondeley Castle, and that's in Cheshire, so it was really special seeing all the fans there. For me as a local driver, but in the World Championship, it's really cool to have that there. The best thing is probably the travelling and the admiration from the fans, because people have so much respect for the drivers. And the worst thing is probably the reality of it.
There's a lot of Network Q people over in the hospitality tent, and they'll be very, very pleased to see Chris, because Chris went out yesterday on the Sweet Lamb stage when he had the oil light come on and oil problems. I'm very delighted to see him back. How's this going to shape up? Brake hard, turn in.
When I got to like the last, year 10, year 11, I just sort of lost interest and didn't really go much. So rallying was always the priority, and then I went to college. I stopped after that because I knew I wanted to just chase rallying. It's the only thing I wanted to do. This was how I started driving for fun. My dad got me a little buggy, and that's probably where I got the skill and the car control. It's weird, isn't it?
It's a little bit.
I'd love to get one of every single suit though. This time last year in the Czech Republic, I had just a monster crash, and I was lucky to walk out of it. So.
What happened?
First stage in the morning, I was probably not concentrating enough and flat out in 5th gear. I took a corner just way too fast because the pace note was wrong. This is how important pace notes are. It was like a 40-degree left-hander over a jump, but I had in the pace notes as 30 degrees, so I obviously drove to 30 degrees and that wasn't enough to make it round. I'll show you if you want.
63 left, plus in. 3 left, plus in. 20. For right, plus in. Crest. Ah! Che sai?
I had like a broken rib and I've still got a really bad pain down my back. Most of my preparation is done from watching the videos back and seeing how I'm driving, because you can just pick out so much from it. So that was the most difficult experience of my life. You know, having just crashed the car, all my confidence was gone. The next rally, the championship's on the line, and I had to turn up there and beat my teammate who'd done 2 German rallies the week before. He was at the top of his game. At the start of the rally, we just blew everyone away, and that was the best moment of my career, just by being that focused when everything was against us. And we managed it and won the rally.
It's been a really difficult rally, happy to get to the end. A lot of supporters here and sponsors put a lot into it, so we're really happy to finish.